Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Planet Lizzdom. I'm Lizzdom, an artist just like you, dealing with this pandemic and all the crazy things that are going on around it. And I'm so happy to be here again this week with all of you. I'm pretty sure that we are streaming live right now. Every now and again, there is a ghost in the machine and things can be a little bit strange. So please send me a comment, send a hello, and let me know that you can actually see what's going on. I'm so excited for this evening. We have a really special guest. I mean, we always have a special guest, but I'm really, really excited about the person that I want to introduce to you tonight. She's a wonderful, creative person. She's so incredibly resourceful and resilient. And she's an actress, but she's also, something that I really, really am so fascinated by lately. She's a cosplayer, and I've been learning a lot about that this year, especially being, within the confines of our home, and when you are creative, you start to find different ways to express yourself. And one of the beauties of cosplay is that you can be a different person. And with all these different streaming platforms out there, you can actually be many different people. And I am so excited to introduce to you Alexa Morgan. She is fantastic, and you're just gonna love her. Welcome, Alexa. How are you?
Hi. Oh my gosh, thank you for that lovely introduction. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm great. You look fantastic.
Thank you.
Who are you supposed to be right now?
So this is a very niche cosplay. This is a character called Book Girl, who was from a Treehouse and YTV show in the late 90s and early 2000s called My Special Book. It was a programming show made in-house that aired in between programming instead of ads. Now, the fun fact about this show is that up until last year, it was actually considered lost media because no episodes were able to be found or archived anywhere. So she's been a pet project of mine for a while, and I figured I would bring her to life.
Very cool. Well, you look fantastic. I had actually put together an intro video that I completely forgot to play because I was so worried that perhaps my streaming broadcast link hadn't worked. So I just wanted to play this to kind of show everybody a little bit about you and who you are. That was my fancy intro video. There was supposed to be a voiceover, and I forgot what I wanted to say.
It's okay. Oh, a great mix of pictures.
My production manager is going to have a very stern talk with me later in the form of a snuggle. That would be Jack, my cat.
I was going to say probably a snuggle and a demand for some wet food.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, we have some people that are already viewing. Guys, the beauty and the purpose of Planet Lizzdom is that this is a new stage where you get to be in the front row, you get to participate, so please turn on, tune in, and take part. Please let us know if you have any questions for Alexa in the comments. Let us know how you're doing. I already see that we have a little bit of love. Thank you, and kicks up. She's really, really another wonderful artist that perhaps maybe we will introduce to you later. Greg said that he can see us, so thank you, Greg. I'm very happy about that.
Awesome.
Okay, where do we begin? Because there is so much to delve into. I mean, first of all, my definition of cosplay wasn't probably quite as accurate as it could be. For you, what does that mean?
So for me, cosplay is about dressing up, sometimes becoming a character, sometimes just dressing up to have fun. Pre-COVID, it was also about going to conventions and doing photo shoots and hanging out with friends. For me, just a great way to represent a lot of the fandoms that I love in a way that speaks to me.
Okay. Now, when did you, obviously, you're a very creative person. You're an actress. You grew up as a dancer. When did you first become introduced to cosplay?
So I was introduced to cosplay through the internet when I was in high school. Now, at the time, I lived in a small town, and cons weren't really a thing around there. So when I moved to Toronto in the fall of 2016, I went to my first ever fan expo. I'd already been a birthday party performer, so I had some costumes from that, and I wore that on my first day ever. I was so excited, and I was just blown away by the variety and the excitement. And over the years, I've built up my skills, built up my repertoire, and now I have a collection that's definitely a lot bigger than it was back then.
Now, what would you say is one of your favorite characters to play?
Easy. Snow White. She's my go-to. She's my girl. There she is right there. She is my favorite Disney princess.
Oh my gosh.
So much joy.
You're absolutely adorable as her.
Thank you.
I think you were telling me once that when you're at different conventions, people will actually run up to you because they know you as Snow White.
Oh, yes. It's more like my friends can pick me out of the crowd. Like they're looking and they're looking. Oh, there's Lexa. There's Snow White. So that's more of a thing. It's like, oh, we found her. Look for the big yellow skirt.
I love it. I mean, you're just so adorable. I can't help it. But I do love that, not only are you adorable, but there is a dark element to you as well. Yes. I know just before you were showing me this costume
right beside me. Give me a second.
Now, for those who don't know, who is this?
So that is little sister from a computer game called BioShock. So that was the first cosplay that I did some weathering for. It was actually my uncle and I. Here it is right here. And so I got this brand new. It was clean. It was perfect. No rips, no tears, no nothing. So we just went ham. I shredded up. You can kind of see it. I shredded up the bottom of the white. And over here, we've got a mixture of fake blood, paint, and coffee grounds to make all the dirt and the blood. And I'm really proud of it.
That is very, very cool. I mean, again, I just want to show that overlay. You look so beautiful and so creepy at the same time. Like, I love it.
I can't take credit for the makeup in that photo. It was done by a good friend of mine, Jen. Unfortunately, she passed away earlier this year, but she was phenomenal at special effects makeup, and I was really lucky to get to wear her work for the day.
That's wonderful. I'm so sorry for the loss of your friends.
Thanks.
But wonderful that she got to work with you.
Oh, it was wow. That was the first time we met, first time we worked together, and it was so exciting. So exciting. I'd actually teamed up with a buddy of mine who did another character in the game, Big Daddy, and we couldn't move all day. We actually were stopped for photos. Couldn't move. We appeared on, I believe it was City TV that night, and it was just nuts. The recognition and the feeling was amazing.
That's amazing. I feel like when you're at a convention, that's how you know that you've done well.
Definitely, it was really validating for sure. It was nuts. And also, it made for a great way for our friends to find us. We were the marking point.
That's great. I love it. Yeah, that's true. It's like, just look for these guys here, Now, I love the contacts. I'm very envious because I cannot touch my eyeballs. In fact, I can't let anyone else touch my eyeballs. How did you come across, or how did you get these into your possession, and how do you put them in your eyes?
So they're simple. They're just a regular circle contact. I am also a scare actor outside of this. I'm not going to say where, but I had realized that nobody was taking me seriously in the costume and makeup I was in at the time. So I was like, You know what? Other people wear contacts. Gosh dang it. I'm going to get myself a pair of contacts. So I found those and I was like, you know what? These could work. These could be creepy. And I got a friend to peer pressure me. I was like, okay, you just need to stand there and just stare at me until I get them in.
Yeah.
And over the years, I've just gotten a lot faster at it. And they sort of become like a signature contact for me as well, which is nice. I get the same pair every 6 months or so, and super easy to get in. They do affect visibility. So if it's super, super bright or super, super dark, I'm having a bit of trouble.
Okay, I was going to say, like, how is the visibility in them?
For the most part, if it's not like direct light or like pitch black, it's foggy, but I can see. Yeah. I can see enough.
I was going to say, I mean, if it's foggy looking in, it's probably foggy looking out.
Yeah, well, that's what I meant. Like, I see foggy out. Everything's blurred. And I don't even realize that, like, you just adjust until the end of the night when I take them out, and it's almost overwhelming the amount of detail I can see.
Now, I mean, obviously, with every single costume comes its own set of hurdles to either make or wear. Do you have any stories of, crazy mishaps that happened when you were in costume?
Ooh, I don't think I've had anything go particularly wrong in a costume yet. Actually, with Little Sister, near the beginning of the day I wore it, with the weapon that I had made, I had a baby bottle lid glued to the top of it, and it had fallen off. So I had to track down a friend with some glue, because before any photos had happened, anything had happened, and I was like, I'm not going around all day with a broken prop. That one was nuts. That took some tracking down, because that big prop right there is a real gas pump handle. with a knitting needle hot glued onto the end that I covered
yeah.
in cocoa powder once again, and I sealed it with hairspray.
Okay.
And I almost didn't get allowed to bring it in by the convention staff because of the weight of the grip, which I totally understand.
Okay.
But I was like, it's a plastic edge. I promise I'm not going to hurt anybody. And thankfully they let me in.
Oh my gosh, that's true. Actually, it's something that I didn't consider. Perhaps in conventions, some costumes could be a little bit dangerous to others.
I've seen some people try to get props in over the years that are just like, really, I believe it was a Walking Dead costume. Somebody tried to bring in a real baseball bat with real barbed wire around it and didn't see why that might be an issue on a really, really, really crowded convention floor.
Chainsaw and hockey mask. Zoom! Oh my gosh, that's true. I know. Like, how do you make an authentic Lucille?
Well,
you
there's ways. You can use like foam, and then just use like a wire hanger, perhaps, and then use foam to make like the spikes. Wire hangers are really, really, really useful.
Well, speaking of wire hangers, I wanted to showcase something that you had made that still impresses me to this day. I can't brag enough about your resourcefulness, because one of the elements of cosplay that I've really noticed is that you can't just go to the store and buy everything. You really do have to make a lot of it yourself.
Oh, I can. For example, this is a jacket that I had found on Etsy that didn't have any of the paint on it, didn't have any of the jewels on it. I just glued those on today, painted that on. This was a dollar store wig. I painted the flower clips. And then I spent about an hour today making the bracelet and the necklace, because it's not the 90s anymore. They don't just come pre-made.
Yeah. No, that's true. Actually, there's a TikTok character or a TikTok video that you sent me that I wanted to play because you had actually made this outfit.
Is there a prince?
Yes.
He must be terribly handsome.
Oh, he is.
Strong and brave.
None like him.
Oh,
I got way too into that. It stopped. I was like, oh wait, you're done.
I made it short, and that is one of my favorites. That is an original character I created for TikTok named Peas Blossom, after my love for A Midsummer's Night Dream. That's a dress that I've had for a couple of years now. Some jewels that I picked up from a Spirit Halloween sale, and these babies.
Yes. Oh, here, I'm going to give you the spotlight because they're beautiful.
So these I had made originally for an X-Men cosplay for Pixie. This is made out of cellophane that was purchased simply from a florist. These are wire hangers here and at the bottom, and holding it all together, along with about 20 zip ties all taped together so it wouldn't scratch up my costume. All of these veins were drawn up by hand based off of looking at a photo, and then it's covered in glitter glue and taped at the ends, and then it just simply hooks over my spandex suit. Comes And this is one of the things I think I'm the most proud of ever making, just because it's held up.
It is fantastic. I mean, it photographs so well, it films so well, and it really looks so sturdy. You know, I imagine when you're transporting your costumes, you know, you try to be as careful as possible, but sometimes things happen.
Well, a lot of the times I wind up relying on public transit to get to a convention.
Oh, yes.
So there's something like this, I would have them off and hanging at my feet. Actually, in COVID time, these are kind of perfect because 6 feet. I'm moving around, for example, like my apartment when I'm filming. I got to go through doorways sideways.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Oh, thank you so much. And keeps saying that those are some lovely wings. I love original characters.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's true. It's not easy to come up with, you know, different personas these days because there is just so much out there.
There is.
But, you know, again, this is something that I love about your TikTok, especially Alexa, is that you do come up with so many wonderful characters. I'm just trying to think, you know, some of my favorite ones. Oh my gosh, where do I even start? Like, your handle on TikTok is Demonic Sparkles. First of all, where did that come from?
So I've been going by my own name for a period of time now, which just feels most comfortable. But I noticed on TikTok, it was less about making a connection with people and more about just like a crowd of anonymity enjoying my content, which super flattered by. But I was like, hey, let's try something else. Also, with the name Alexa tends to come Amazon Alexa jokes, and I didn't want to lean into that too much. So I went around asking my friends, like, hey, what describes me? Like, what do you think fits me? And my very good friend of mine was like, demon, sparkles, glittery. And I was like, whoa, demon, sparkles, demonic sparkles. And it just seemed to fit because I tend to like really creepy content or like super extra sparkly Disney sort of type content.
Absolutely. Like, for example, here's something really vampy.
Despite my ghoulish reputation, I really do have the heart of a small boy.
Yes, that is my... Oh,
sorry.
Okay. But yeah, that is my original vampire that I love. She's just doesn't take any nonsense and is very confident.
She's fun, you know. I mean, and then you'll go straight to something like this, which I absolutely, it blew me away at Christmas. You did the Grinch.
My son died.
You're
The Grinch!
So awesome!
That one's super fun because those who don't know, that is my own hair. That is my actual hair. I actually tried out 5 different sizes of bottles, and even then, my hair was too long. I had to pin it because it kept hitting my eyes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're gonna go for maybe a wine bottle next year.
Oh, well, you know, I can help you with finding one of those.
I'll take you up on that.
No, that's really impressive. Oh, thank you very much, Mandy. She says,
Mandy is a friend of mine from my hometown, and thanks to her, my grandmother's able to tune in and watch tonight.
Oh, thank you, Mandy. That's a huge deal. Hi, Grandma. How are you? Oh, yeah, I know. I get goosebumps when family tunes in. That's a
I
really
love my grandmother so much, so it means a lot that she can watch tonight.
Oh, I'm so happy. Oh my gosh. Okay, where do we continue? Like, there's so many wonderful things that you've been doing on TikTok that are just so exciting to me. Like this whole makeup drop thing. Like, how much fun is that?
So that was a play. That's like a common trend, is that transition from one look to another right now on TikTok. And I was feeling kind of uninspired, and I had a friend of mine dare me to try like a different kind of makeup look. For me, normally my eyeliner is very minimal, and she's like, no, try this. So that was a way to play with that a little bit. And I borrowed a wig from a friend for a different cosplay coming up soon. And I figured, why the heck not lean into it?
You did a great job with it. I mean, it's just, I'm learning about TikTok because I you know, before COVID hit, I didn't really pay attention to it. I didn't realize what a
I
fun
knew about some cringy stuff, but I wasn't really big on TikTok. And then, I don't know, shoved me into isolation, and I got to do something.
Well, and I really like how they design the editing process so that you can do things like that, where you film it, pause it, save it, do the next, you know, leg of whatever you want to shoot, and you can continue shooting and editing in a very easy and quick fashion.
Oh, super easy. It's been a super easy interface to use, which I am super grateful for, because like I do have some editing skills, but it just makes it a lot easier when it's in-app. Absolutely.
And I have to say, you know, you are incredibly dedicated and focused with this, which is why you're doing as well as you are, because it's a lot of work. I think I've done 4 posts.
And then there's me posting normally 3 videos a day, but I tend to really film my content in a chunk at a time. Like, for example, tonight, I'll definitely be filming for a couple of hours. I have a lot of things set up that I'm really excited for this character, because she means a lot to me.
Yeah, well, and she's so cool. Okay, well, remind me her name one more time.
So this is Book Girl from a TV show called My Special Book.
Okay, I want to check it out after this, actually.
It's super fun. Thanks to some archive specialists, the entire series is now on YouTube and has been archived and found, which is phenomenal.
Very cool. I mean, again, I'm really impressed because I know you were telling me for a while how you were trying to put it together and trying to find different elements.
Well, this, for example, this jacket had been on. I had a number of different jackets saved that were similar in design, just because it is very 1990s and not as easy to find today. And it's been COVID time. It's not like I can just walk into, you know, Value Village all the time anymore, sadly. So I had a number of different coats saved, and this was my favorite because it was the most accurate. And I noticed that the vintage shop I had saved it from had a sale. So half off with free shipping, no tax. I couldn't click checkout fast enough.
Oh yeah, that's the best feeling ever. When you can dress up for next to nothing, it's the best.
It was
the best.
Super exciting. So once that got here, all the rest of the pieces came together because I'd already picked up this wig at Halloween. Because normally I tend to look for wigs a little longer, but because it was so easy to find, it had been just sitting at the edge of my bed, and then everything else I had already picked out, and it was so exciting.
I love it. 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 Something that I really love about TikTok as well that you do a lot is duets. Here's one that I really, really like.
No. Do animals talk to you? No. Were you poisoned? No. Cursed? No. Kidnapped or enslaved? No. Are you guys okay? Should I call the police? And I have to assume you made a deal with an underwater sea witch where she took your voice in exchange for a pair of human legs? No. Good Lord, who would do that? Have you ever had true love's kiss? Ew, barf. Do you have daddy issues? I don't even have a mom. Neither do we.
That one's super fun because, as most people can tell, those are both me. Those are two cosplays that I've done. Vanellope's a fun one because all the candy on that wig is real.
Wow.
That was a tough one because I found out the hard way that licorice doesn't like to conform to anything. It won't melt. It doesn't like to bend and stay. And it won't attach itself to hot glue because of the texture.
Oh. So what do you do?
So I remember the day of the convention I was originally wearing it to. I was hot gluing that thing with an inch of its life the morning of.
Oh my.
I'd already pre-made all the little candy barrettes. They were all candy that had been hot glued to bobby pins, so I could easily slide them on with that licorice. And I managed to finally get it to precariously stay, and I was going to add one more layer of hot glue. And I'd had it on my head at that point. I was just adjusting, and the fire alarm went off in my building. And I said, oh, you know what? This is a sign. I'm going to leave it like this. Cross my fingers and pray. And it has survived to this date, luckily enough.
That's
it's
amazing.
Not near me right now because the way the ponytail on it is, it's very heavy. So I have to have it constantly propped up just so it doesn't go flying off the wig head.
Oh my gosh.
That's true. A fun one.
Have you ever pulled anything out of storage and it just somehow went askew and all of a sudden it's just bent out of shape?
I've had a couple of wigs that you put them into storage and you pull them out and you're like, oh no. Like currently my red wig needs some TLC and my long blonde wig, mostly longer wigs, they tend to knot really easily and it takes some time, some fabric softener and a lot of patience, which I don't have as much of as I would like.
Yes, it's true. Well, I find, for myself, whenever I think I, have the talent or the will to style a wig, because it's not attached to my own head, within about 30 seconds of trying to work with it and the wig moving everywhere, I just want to throw it in the closet and walk away.
What I do is I have hairpins that I bend out of shape and I stab them into the wig head so they keep the wig in place.
Oh, that's a great idea.
I love the styrofoam heads. I'm not super pro. I just work with the styrofoam heads, so it's just a stabby and they stay put.
All right, I'm gonna remember the stabby.
That's with the aggression, with the frustration. It's like, no, you're not going to move.
Trust me, sometimes you don't know your own strength. I was sewing a patch onto my cardigan last night, and I literally bent and broke the needle in my hand, and I thought, oh my God, I'm the She-Hulk. Who does that?
That takes some strength. I
was watching Russell Peters on Netflix laughing so hard. I guess I just, maybe I'm an X-Men. I don't know.
Hey, that you never know.
You never know. I want to look at this other video, and I can't remember what it's called. I just titled it Amber Sweet, but I'm probably really wrong. So let me know what this actually is.
Sometimes I wonder why I need you at all.
And Amber Sweet is addicted to the knife.
Addicted to the knife? Addicted to the knife.
And addicted to the knife, she needs a little help with the agony.
Agony.
And a little...
What is this? It's really cool.
So that was from my Halloween line of looks. So because I wasn't able to scare act last year, I found myself really missing my friends from scare acting. So I had done a line of characters inspired by monsters I had worked with. So those are inspired by Alec the Vampire and Bella the Ragdoll. And they're sort of like a husband and wife duo at the parks, just platonic friends in real life, but that's their characters. And I had done those looks. And Repo is a favorite guilty pleasure movie of mine. And I felt like it was just so, so perfect for their energies.
Right, that's right. I couldn't remember for the life of me. I figured you would tell me. Repo, the genetic opera?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Love it.
I'm due to watch that again.
10 out of 10 recommend. It's definitely a guilty pleasure. Like it's no perfect masterpiece, but it's just so good to watch and enjoy. Yes, Repo, you know.
I love it. See, guys, keep commenting. This is exciting. Like, tell us stuff. Ask questions. Oh my god.
Yes.
You know, I feel like such a nerd. Participate. But it's true. I want to talk about your scare acting actually, because it's so much fun. I went to my very first Screamers last year, and I had a great time with all the actors and actresses. Like, they're so much fun.
I've had some friends that have worked at Screamers, and I've gone there myself, and I've been terrified.
Oh yeah, some of it's absolutely frightening.
Scare acting is super, super fun. I super miss it. Wow, can I say super one more time? But it's just the greatest rush, because there's nothing like being dressed as a creepy child, doing a creepy voice, walking up to a group of just big, and I'm using the stereotype right now, big macho guys who are like, I'm not scared, and just going, wanna play? And they just book for the hills.
And you typically would play an Annabelle sort of character?
I've had a number of different characters over the years at different places that I've scared. Like, for example, Annabelle was my beginning. I started scaring in Kirkland Lake, my hometown, at the LaSalle Theater. It was a haunted house, and the Annabelle doll was the first character I played. And this was before the movies came out, so it was the original Raggedy Ann doll that I was inspired by. I braided my hair, and I had this room full of my own porcelain dolls, and a music box, and a rag doll, and I just did a whole, wanna play with me? We can be friends forever and ever and always.
Oh my gosh, that's so adorable and so creepy. I love it.
You've got the makeup and the aesthetic and whatnot, and it just, once I get in the mindset, the voice is easier, and I find it sometimes comes off as creepier, and I'm in that ready to go mode.
Now, correct me if I'm remembering wrong, but didn't you do an Annabelle character in a haunted theater?
That was the haunted theater. So that was at the LaSalle Theater. That was the beginning of it. It was a fundraiser. Save the LaSalle is an organization that has been restoring the theater actually for the last, I want to say longer now. Since I was about midway through high school, and I was very involved with them back in my hometown. I used to participate in Shakespeare in the Park productions. But the haunted house was the very first thing I ever did with them. And I did it from the beginning all the way till I left, which was the first 2 years of the haunted house, my last 2 years in Kirkland Lake. And it was great. I loved it so, so, so much.
That's amazing. I mean, I'm so impressed with the fact that A, you can do it, and B, you can be that energetic and focused and dramatic and creepy for so long, and sometimes in really cold and uncomfortable conditions.
Oh, it was cold. For those who don't know, Kirkland Lake is up near Timmins in terms of where it is in Ontario. So this was in October. I'm in about a t-shirt dress, and that theater is actually kind of haunted, which I got lucky enough to experience.
Oh, okay. I want to hear all about this.
So let's start at the beginning. So with this room full of dolls, we had a couple of pranksters in the cast. So every night before I left, I would put like a piece of tape over the door, put a hair in the door to make sure they weren't going to go in and, mess with my stuff. I had my setup. It was easy. And every day I'd go back in, take off the tape, check the hair. Nobody had gone in. And all the dolls would have switched places. And we're talking porcelain dolls on rocking chairs. They're not going anywhere.
Oh my gosh. They just moved.
Yep, completely across the room, changed places. Sometimes the rag doll was often upside down on top of the box, because I had like this little fake doll box in the corner. I was like, okay, kind of unsettling.
Yeah.
At first, I definitely thought it was a guy in the cast. That's why I started taping the door, because I thought it was a prankster. Pretty sure I was certain it was him, but he wouldn't fess up, which is why I did the tape on the door. It just kept happening. And then on Halloween night, no matter how much we shoved a space heater in there and how close I got to it, the entire room was ice cold.
Yeah, that is some haunted shit right there. I just forgot. This is my show. I can swear. That's some haunted shit.
It was definitely creepy. Yeah.
To this day, I don't understand. Why does the temperature drop so dramatically when there's a presence, when something haunted happens?
I don't know. I was not happy because I'm sitting there in this little white dress, shivering. And I don't get cold easily. I take great pride in being a warm-blooded person.
Yeah.
But Halloween night, I'm sitting there, teeth are chattering beyond belief.
Ooh. Yeah, that's a very Halloween experience, actually.
It is. And the next year, went back. That year's theme was more of I was a monster under the bed sort of dynamic.
Okay.
So we had a younger girl on top of the bed who would sort of arch her back when I started coming out. We had all these it's kind of neat because you'd walk in and she'd just be lying in bed and it looked like all these stuffed animals around her, all nice and cute. But then as you turned the bed, on the other side, all the other halves of the stuffed animals were rotted and decomposing and half dead, and she'd start arching her back, and I would come out from underneath the table and things would flash. And Halloween night, same year, that year, ice cold.
Wild.
Ice cold.
Wild. Now, obviously, you know, as you're in role and in character and everybody's coming through, inevitably you're going to see someone that you know in the audience come through.
Plenty of people. It's a smaller town. You're going to see a lot of folks that you know.
Did you have the temptation to break character, or did you just mess with them even more?
It was just more mess with them even more because you know facts about them like their name. You don't always get lucky like that. Nowadays when I scare, obviously I'm in Toronto, I don't know as many names, but when you get somebody's name, the power you have over somebody to just scream their name.
Gosh, of course. I mean,
and we had like teachers coming through, like elementary teachers and just members of the community, and it was just so good. Like sometimes they wouldn't get scared because they knew you, but other times you could just really lean into it.
I love it. I love it. Well, I truly hope that you get to, you know, do that again this year.
Hopefully this year, next year, I'm itching to get back at it.
Do you have any plans coming up for Halloween? I mean, I know everyone's like, spring is coming, summer's upon us. Halloween is really important.
I normally work Halloween night. 2019 was the first year since high school that I haven't been scaring on Halloween night. And 2020, obviously. So normally I like to work nice and easy. If not, like 2019, I was on Church Street with my friends for good old Halloween block party.
Now, I know going into the pandemic, just about this time last year, because I always like to talk about losses versus wins. You know, what were you doing this time last year?
So this time last year, I was supposed to be starting a 1-year work contract in the United States. I'm not going to say where because I would like to apply for it again.
Okay.
But I was supposed to be moving, and it kept getting delayed. It got delayed until August. So where I'm currently living, I was just supposed to be house sitting because it was like, okay, we'll stay here for 2 weeks, couple of months, whatever. Wait this out until I can get over the border. My dad, actually, great guy, was supposed to come. We're going to load up the truck and we're just going to make the drive. And at the end of August, that officially got canceled. They'll let me know when I can apply again. And fingers crossed, because 1-year work contract. I would really love that right about now.
Absolutely. I mean, I truly hope that happens for you. I know you were really excited for that and really looking forward to it.
Oh, yeah. That's all I could talk about from the moment I got the news. I remember because I had interviewed for the job. So in 2019, I had applied for the job in February on a whim. I had gotten the email offer for an interview at the end of June for the middle of August. Mm-hmm. Interviewed for the position in August. Got told I would find out by end of September, early October. Didn't hear anything. So I said, okay, you know what? I made it to the interview, which was a big enough deal for the amount of applicants they had. And then I remember it was a Monday night in November. And I was 8:45 at night because class had ended. I had gone to the grocery store after class, and I was in the cafeteria of the residence I was living in at the time, flipping through my phone. It was at 12%. And I remember seeing the email at the top, congratulations. And I nearly screamed.
Oh my gosh, yes. Oh my God, I would be jumping on the bed for joy.
Oh, I went speechless. I didn't even buy any food. I just like in a daze walked back up to my room where my roommate was coming in from her class, and I just screamed and showed her the email, and oh, I was so excited.
Well, I truly hope that you get to, experience that excitement a second time, and that the paperwork that you had prepared for this, I don't know if it will be extenuated or.
That one has ended because just because of the nature of the job. It's a 1-year work contract. There's a work visa involved through the embassy, which means I'll just have to completely restart that. But hopefully this time it won't be as much of a hassle. And last time was actually kind of funny. In the first set of paperwork I had been sent, they had spelt my name wrong. So they had to rush a redo. They had printed Alexis Morgan. Or no, they messed up my birth date. That's what it was, by 2 days. I'm like, oh, problem. Born on the 18th, not the 20th.
Yeah, that's a big difference.
Mm-hmm. So we had to scurry, get that rush, do that again. So hopefully this time it'll be all smooth because I know what I'll be expecting going into that paperwork if I get it.
Absolutely. Well, yeah. Again, fingers crossed. Before that happens, is there anything else on your radar that you want to do, that you can do in this sort of situation?
For the time being, I would like to work again. I would like to see my friends again and hug my friends and be a social butterfly again. I'm a very extroverted person, so for the last year during this pandemic, it's been kind of a toll on my mental health, so to speak. Yeah. And I'm pretty honest about that, just because I was not the kind of person who was meant to be alone. Like I can live alone. I can function. Don't get me wrong. I can function on my own, but I need somebody to talk to and not just through a digital device.
Right.
I need to be able to physically talk to somebody, have a conversation, hug somebody. So it was pretty rough for a while. Yeah.
For sure. That is a huge deal. I mean, I think, everybody's gone through their own different flavor of crap, of hell, of, all kinds of different learning experiences. And one of the things that I've found so refreshing and hopeful is that I've noticed everybody's a lot more honest about where they're at emotionally. This whole notion or idea of toxic positivity is right out the door because everybody's like, fuck that. This is stupid. Like,
I'm a positive person by nature, but I'm not one for toxic positivity. I will be real when I need to be real.
Absolutely, and I think it's more important than ever to just be honest about it because, why suffer in silence? We're a world that's in hurt for the first time in unison, and which is weird to say, but I think it's absolutely helpful to be honest about where you're at.
Oh, totally. At the beginning, actually, the pandemic last year, well, I say beginning now, it was about 2 months in, I'd actually made an Instagram post because I'd been doing all these different closet looks, but I was burning out because I couldn't get the social that I needed. So I made a look where I had done some more bruising type makeup, and I had I put a bloody handprint across my mouth because I kept being asked by people, oh, how are you doing? How are you doing? How are you doing? How are you coping with things? Because I had been so public about the job opportunity and I'm so public about my life and what's going on that friends cared and they wanted to know, which I really did appreciate. Yeah. But I wanted to make a big public post and be like, this is where I am. I'm not okay.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be okay anytime soon, but this is what's going on.
And did you find that was
really cathartic? It was really cathartic in showing that and making a visual, in painting my outside to resemble my inside. It was a really cathartic process.
So if you had to give any sort of advice or observation from your humble experience, because obviously none of us is an expert. I'm definitely not a professional. You're not a professional. We are just artists going through this bullshit together.
I'm just somebody who just needs an outlet and has made one.
Right. Is there any, I guess, piece of advice that you would really give that you found was a revelation for you or really worked for you?
Let yourself be lazy. That's my big thing is if you're not going to function that day, celebrate the little things. Celebrate folding a piece of clothing, as cheesy as it is, folding like one piece of clothing or cleaning one element at home. Don't be like, oh no, I didn't do all this. It's like, no, you did this much. Mentally right now, We can't be all 100% all the time. You have to be forgiving towards yourself, which is something I struggle with every day. I'm constantly like, oh no, you're not doing enough. Oh no, you're not doing this. So I've got to go, 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 go. You have to forgive yourself.
I think that is wonderful advice because it's true. You're in survival mode. Yes, maybe the Jason isn't running after you with a chainsaw and a hockey mask per se, but you are in survival mode because you're doing all kinds of.
Life as we knew it is on pause, and it's not going to return as we knew it for quite some time.
Yep.
You need to let yourself mourn that and function in a world without that.
I think that is so smart to observe it that way, to mourn it.
Yeah, you have to. You have to make peace with. You're not going to be able to just go to a restaurant and a convention and a movie and a play all in the same week anymore for a little while.
It's true. I very often will refer to it as the before times.
Yeah, it is.
DC.
Pre-COVID. Yeah, pre-COVID.
During COVID, after COVID. It's.
Yeah. It's going to be some time before life as we knew it is back to that perfectly. And some things might not return, and it's a new world going forward.
Absolutely. And I think, creatively, like, is there anything that you've discovered about yourself this year that you didn't realize or, would never have otherwise?
I like to think that I've grown my makeup skills over the last year. Pre-COVID, I was pretty good at following a template, but my day-to-day base makeup skills were minimal. Like I knew how to do like basic show makeup or other basic makeup, but I hadn't really been experimentative in a way that I'd been since high school. So I took the time to really experiment, learn how to do some more bruising, learn how to do more contouring, and just more different things. So I'm really proud of where that's come over for the past year.
I have to say, in the year that I've known you, I have watched you really, push through a lot of different boundaries and envelopes. A lot of the looks that you do that I really love. Sometimes other people may not necessarily understand, but I love it.
I've been doing a lot of more creating for me and less for others. Like a lot of things. I've done looks for TikTok that haven't done well because they don't fit a status quo. But I'm like, no, I'm doing it because it makes my brain demons happy. Makes the little goblin in my brain go, yay! Like certain looks like where I'm covered in blood and I'm wearing my contacts. Might not be, everybody's cup of tea. And I can acknowledge that. But they make the little demon in my head that's like, but creative, happy, and sing with joy.
Which I think is so important. I know you did a TikTok. I think you called her Bluebell.
Yes, that is one of my original fairy. That's my other original fairy.
I want to look at her for a second because she's lovely.
So what's it gonna be, huh? Long sullen silence or mean comment? Go on.
You got me in a box here.
I love it.
She was one of the first original characters I came up with for TikTok. That was actually filmed in my washroom. That was before I had a ring light. That backdrop is a bed sheet. Gotta love those. That is jewelry that I had worn to my prom. Ears that I had worn for Pixie, but I had loaned to a friend for something else. So they came back blue and covered in gunk. So they actually can't be worn on my ears anymore. That I had pinned into a wig that I used for a cosplay of Raven. The headband is from an old ballet costume, along with the mesh top being from an old hip hop costume.
Very cool. It looked so awesome.
It did. And there's an effect, actually, speaking of editing on TikTok, that makes my eyes blue, which really adds to it.
Oh, very cool. Okay.
So it's a fun extra element because I didn't have to buy another pair of contacts. I could just click on this thing and I have blue eyes.
It's amazing what algorithms and apps can do these days. It blows my mind.
For sure.
Like literally we are living in the future.
We are.
I always joke that we're living in Blade Runner. I mean, even today, when I left the subway, there was rain everywhere. And I was like, it's not time for rain yet.
It was so warm out today. It was plus 18. I was happy.
It was wild. Well, I hope it stays. We'll see. I mean,
are we supposed to get more snow next week or something like that?
Yeah, I think we're probably going to get another snowstorm first.
It is fall, spring. It goes winter, fall, spring, winter again, then spring, and then summer or construction.
Well, there's sprinter, there's March, there's second sprinter, there's Winterlude. I don't know. We'll see. Truthfully, I don't put away my parka until May 1st. Just saying.
I don't really wear a parka too much in the last couple of years. My friends tend to not obnoxiously, but I'm like, oh yeah, I'm fine. I'll walk outside and minimal clothing. They're like, oh yeah, that's Alexa. Don't mind her. She's from up north. She can handle it.
Well, and and I'm very envious that you can, because I am such a huge wimp. No, I do not like the cold at all.
It has come in handy time and time again when I do work, either in acting or scare acting or whatever else it may be, or cosplay photo shoots where I am outside for an extended period of time and I don't get too cold.
Well, you did a lot of work with Disney back in the fall, and you were wearing like light T-shirts and like you were dressed in clothing that was just so lightweight, and I was just like, I don't know how you can do this, like for this movie and that movie. And
you mean background work that I did on projects that we don't know names of?
Yes.
I didn't work on those projects. I worked on some other projects here and there. Can't say things yet.
Something else. I'm thinking of something completely different. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No worries. I know you're thinking of that because there were some projects from Disney filming, but I was working on some other stuff. Good old background work. Can't disclose those NDAs yet, but I do extra work, and sometimes, you have to do summer and winter or winter and summer. I've worn, I remember shooting, it was for a pilot that never got picked up. It was a school graduation where I was wearing nothing but like a cocktail dress, and it was March and it was snowing. Yes. I've done stuff where it was winter in July, where if I had to wear a parka in July and I died of heat.
That's right. Sorry, I've got Disney on the brain because I just finished WandaVision, so I'm all just...
And we were talking about Snow White, we were talking about Penelope, and Disney is a huge facet of mine.
I figured if I got it wrong, you would correct me, be like, no, it's things and stuff. And
I like to keep myself very busy, even in COVID times, so...
Well, and something that I've heard from a lot of people is that, working on set, it's been the most safe and, controlled environment. Like the protocols are so
sure. Good. I only had 2 opportunities to work in 2020 on sets. My years are all mixed up still because we've been in here for so long. I only had 2 opportunities near the end of the year to work on sets, but they were super, super safe. I got tested every 2 to 3 days. Good old up the nose. There was a lot of protocols in place. We were all given certain masks. You wore your mask the entire time until they called go time, and then right after it went right back on for everybody. A lot of the crew were in almost spacesuits, like cameramen and whatnot, and directors, like very much like a helmet and like so much protective gear. They were taking no chances, and it was really, really reassuring to see.
That is very reassuring to see because, very often, with film sets, you're in such close quarters and you're trying not to be. And, I love that we're still able to be a little bit creative. That's important, Yes.
And work. Money was great. Being able to work for my money again.
Absolutely. And, and I look forward to that being the case again as time goes by and things roll out, that sort of thing. Yes. I'm forever the optimist, even though I'm still dealing with adjustment disorder and, panic attacks and agoraphobia, all that bullshit. I'm still very hopeful that, going into spring and moving forward into 2021, things will adjust and they will get better.
Well, I'm hoping with all these vaccines being rolled out and being available, I'm also hopeful that things will get better this year.
Me too. And I'm really excited to see how things evolve because I've noticed this past year, a lot of people are going outside of their comfort zone creatively and technologically, and platforms like this are becoming more of a norm, in addition to, I think once people go back to being able to do live shows and performance and that sort of thing, these sorts of platforms for performance will still exist. They'll just be perhaps in conjunction because for the first time ever, everyone gets a front row seat in an equal way.
Definitely. It's great.
And I think, especially if you might be mobility disabled or
distance, depending on wherever you're located.
Distance, yeah.
No, definitely noticed that with TikTok. I go live very often because I like chatting to people, and it's been neat seeing where folks like in the crowd or watching tend to come from. Like I've been able to attract audiences from all over the world, which has been really awesome.
That's really cool. What's the most random place that you've had someone connect with you?
I've had folks from Egypt. I've had folks from yeah, that was one that stuck with me. That was really interesting because I know most of my crowd, my direct crowd audience tends to be Canadians, which has been great. I do a lot of Canadian nostalgic stuff as shown. So I'm really looking forward to debuting this tonight because this is going up on all my socials after this. This was the official debut.
I love it.
And I'm really looking forward to seeing how this is received.
I'm very excited about that. There's one more video that I want to show because, I mean, it's adorable and everyone needs to see it.
It's time for Animaniacs, and we're zany to the max. So just sit back and relax, you'll laugh or you can laugh. We're Animaniacs.
Oh, that was so fun. That was during the summer. Another one that I came up with, I picked up some craft supplies from the dollar store, good old Dollarama. That's where I got stuff for this and used this all. And I'd already had the skirt. It's a favorite skirt of mine. I love wearing it. And that is a turtleneck that I wear normally under stuff when I'm doing work outside. And I was like, hey, this works for the silhouette for Dottie.
I love it. And
flower, painted a red nose. And I was like, all right, let's go.
So much fun. Like, I love that you bring so much energy and excitement into everything that you do. And I'm so happy to follow you on TikTok. I love to support you on your TikTok lives. One more time, guys.
So much.
Demonic Sparkles. Go follow her.
That, and then if you don't, and you're just on Instagram, it's at Miss Alexa Morgan on Instagram. Super simple, super easy. There you go.
Absolutely. I mean, Alexa, I see so many wonderful things for you in your future. I'm so blessed to know you.
Oh, I'm blessed to know you. You're such a creatively awesome person that it's been great getting to know you over this last year.
Thank you. And it is just such a joy for me to be able to support all of my, hardworking colleagues. I feel like you're all such an extended part of my family, and I learned so much from all of you guys. And I'm so happy that we can, bring you here and kind of show everybody, you can be creative. You can still thrive in all of this. Yes,
Totally.
we're thriving, but there's room for growth. And all we need to do is just kind of remember that it's not supposed to be easy. It's not supposed to be perfect all the time. But
there's ways to not let COVID define you as a person. You can still rise above it and still do something if you want to. If you want to, you need to.
And true to your point, if you need to rest that day, rest.
Oh, I've had so many days where I'm like, I want to film. And then I wake up and my brain is just not there. I also have ADHD. So a lot of my creativity is defined by that because it's like, oh, I want to create. Okay, we're creating all day. But if I don't want to, it's kind of like pulling teeth to get myself to do that. So I don't like to push myself because I know I won't be proud of what I create. So I'm very lucky for days where I'm like, let's do it. And I just lean into it. I've actually gone nocturnal during COVID because of it, because most of my creative spurts happen in the late evening. So I've just been like, okay, you know what? I don't have any time constraints. Who's got those? So I've just, it's kind of a little different, but it's been fun.
Well, there's a bit of a luxury to not having necessarily a schedule to adhere to, because you can nurture those moments a little bit more.
Yeah.
Without the repercussions of being exhausted the next day necessarily.
It's kind of like I can be on my own schedule. I don't really have to answer to anyone at the moment unless I get a random bout of work, which super thankful for. But yeah, if I want to create, I create. I've been exploring different things. I've taken up creative writing again, which has been super fun. Just whatever I feel like doing, I do it.
And I'm so proud of you for doing that. It's such a big deal, and I really look forward to seeing what you do with this character tonight with your TikTok. I look forward to seeing that in the future and all the other wonderful things that you have been doing. And, keep us posted. I definitely will be bragging about you as I can. Guys, if you get a chance, if you loved this program tonight or any of the prior shows that we've been doing and the future shows that are going to come up, please feel free to send a little tip to paypal.me//Lizzdom. I'm terrible at asking for money, but the truth of the matter is streaming does cost a little bit, and any help towards helping this continue to be a show is greatly welcome, because at the end of the day, Planet Lizzdom is for you guys. You know, I want to bring the best and the most brightest and the most exciting people your way. And Alexa, I'm so happy to have had you on the show today.
Thank you for having me. It was super exciting.
I'm so honored you showed up. I wish we could stay and talk longer, but I don't think we're ready for a 3-hour expose yet. I think an hour is a really good amount of time. You know, I hope everybody goes and checks out what you've done. One more time, guys.
Tonight.
Demonic sparkles.
It's super fun, and I've embraced it, and it's fun having people. It almost took me back the first time I went live and was like, oh right, people call me demonic. That's me.
Darn right.
Fun.
You're both cute and creepy. And with that, I want to thank you so much for coming on. I'm going to say my goodbyes. Alexa, I will definitely see you later. So thank you so much for coming in and spending time with us.
Oh.
I'll see you soon.
Bye.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I've got to stop cutting people off early. I'm the worst for that. But truthfully, I think I'm just so excited to be with you guys every week. You know, I hope that you're enjoying the show. I always encourage everybody, type in the comments, think of questions. If you think of any guests you would like me to have on, or any subject matter you would like me to touch on, please drop me a line. You can reach me at my URL, which is Planet Lizzdom on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, subscribe. Hit that bell so you can get updates, because really and truly, it's just going to keep going and getting more and more exciting. And we want to make sure that you're up to date with everything that is happening, because truthfully, the show is for you. And guys, really tune in, turn on, and take part, because you never know who's going to land right here on Planet Lizzdom. So take care, and I'll see you next week.